All right, the livestock cage is in. Pog is all tarped up and ready for our sheep and sheepdog retrieval mission in Missouri tomorrow. Looking good. It's butt crack o'clock a.m. and we're headed to Missouri to pick up 4 Katahdin sheep and a sheepdog. Let's get it done. You guys like my new M65 field jacket? It was given to me by my friend James Sunderland. Thanks, James. My approach to farming has been and will continue to be very Darwinian, in that Corey and I very much believe in survival of the fittest. My first introduction to this as a form of farming was years ago. I think it might have been on James Wesley Rawls' survival blog or somewhere similar, where I read a lengthy post about a guy who had chickens at a retreat, and he wasn't there all the time. So he basically did not put his chickens away at night, and he didn't feed them. And some of the chickens learned how to forage for themselves, others would starve to death. Some of the chickens learned how to sleep up in the trees, and others got eaten by predators. And after a few years, maybe a decade, the guy had a flock of chickens that were entirely self-sufficient, but they didn't leave his property. And again, the ones that would leave his property, they would leave. So the ones that stayed would breed. Eventually he had a flock of chickens that didn't leave his property, didn't need a coop, and didn't need to be fed. They foraged for themselves. Take also the case of Mark Shepard and his chestnut trees. Mark overplants his chestnut trees, knowing that some of them are going to die to disease, some will die to insect predation, some will die to frost. And that's fine because he overplants. The ones that survive are the ones that he propagates. And that is going to be our approach to farming. Cull the weak, allow the strong to survive and propagate. We want disease resistance, we want hardiness, cold hardiness, we want heat tolerance, drought tolerance. We want minimal inputs and minimal interventions. That is a slow process, and yes, nature is going to take her share. Let nature take her share. I've been on the road a long time today, and I stopped for a pee break, but I've been thinking while I've been on the road, as one does when you're on the road. And I was recounting this story to myself that I want to put down and tell you guys. People that know me know the story, especially people that knew me when it happened. It was a big deal among me and my family and friends. Back when I was in college, between 2003 and 2004, I was very immersed in the knife world, especially like folding knives, pocket knives. And I did a lot of doodling and drawing of pocket knife designs, taking features that I liked from a lot of different knives, combining them, refining them. And I had put together this packet of like 30 original knife designs, including a number, maybe 10 specifically, minimalist skeletonized neck knives, which are very small knives that can be worn on a chain around your neck or horizontally on your belt. So I had tried to carve away all the unnecessary bits of these knives and make them as minimal and skeletonized as possible. So I put up this packet of like all 30 of my designs, and I sent it to a really big knife maker. Really big knife maker. And the president of that company, it was unsolicited. Again, I was a kid. I didn't know what I was doing. I had a copy printed up at Kinko's and I mailed it directly to the guy. So the president of this knife company emails me back. He says, "We got your packet. I'm having my guys look at it. We really think there's some potential here. We'll be in contact." A few months goes by. I reach out again. He says, yeah, we're still looking at your designs. We're thinking about maybe next year with our new run, but there's a lot of promise here. So again, I stop hearing from him. I think 6-8 months go by and he's not returning my emails. The new catalog comes out for that company. Lo and behold, like half a dozen of my designs are in that catalog, attributed to other people, attributed to other designers. So I write a very angry email, "Hey, what the F is going on? I find my designs in your catalog." He basically comes back and says, "We have no idea what you're talking about. If you have an issue, please contact our lawyer." So I go to a lawyer. And again, I'm a kid. I had no idea what I was doing. I should have gone to a lawyer ahead of time, not after it all happened. The lawyer sent a cease and desist on my behalf. There was no response. He basically said, unfortunately, there's not much you can do. We could take this to court, but it's going to cost you a lot of money. You're a college student. You don't have any money. They have infinite money. It's not a good idea to take this thing to court. He said you should have had 2 copies of this printed, sent both of them certified mail, one to them, one to yourself, so that you would have a sealed packet proving that this packet of designs existed before this date, also proving that they had received the packet. Even though the email exchange talks about them receiving designs from me, the designs themselves were not in the email, so there's no verification of what designs they are confirming receiving from you and whether or not those were the same designs in the packet. Basically, I didn't have a legal leg to stand on. But eventually, I did come across these knives in stores. And many years have passed since this, like 20-something years. And I'm okay with it now. I don't even have any resentment anymore. I'm glad that some of my designs are floating around out there in the world. I will not buy my knives. I won't buy them. I won't purchase anything from this company anymore. And if you ever want to ask me off the record, I'll tell you exactly who it was. But there is some satisfaction in knowing that my designs are out there in the world being carried and being used by people, even if they are neither attributed to me, nor am I getting any sort of monetary kickback from those designs. It was very frustrating and I had a lot of resentment for a long time. I've completely let that go. I choose not to purchase from that company anymore for a lot of reasons. I still do have some of their knives. I have a couple of them that I purchased before this whole thing happened, and I've gotten some, given to me by friends or in trades, things like that, and that's fine. I think they do have some good knives and good designs, which is why I sent it to them in the first place. But all of this to say, I don't know what I'm saying. I guess I'm just recounting a story. Many lessons learned on this trip. I got smaller sheep this time, lambs, if you will. They can fit right through the holes in this cage. Hi, cuties. Hello. So I had to use basically anything in the truck, rope, paracord, tow straps, to just close off all the access where they might squeeze out. And Sam the puppy, let me see if I can show you. She's in there snuggled up in a blanket right now. We'll get her home and take her out. The tarp is, this was a brand new tarp. I bought this yesterday. It just can't deal with the wind and the friction against the metal of the cage. So I've got to figure out something else. I'm thinking large sheets of vinyl. If I can, especially if I can get some used on Craigslist, just panel the shit out of this thing in vinyl. Super cheap, lightweight, durable, weatherproof. If you have any ideas, throw them in the comments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is our herd. Baby Sam Peachy Keen. She's 1/3 Anatolian Shepherd. Well, a third. Who knows what the amounts are. She is a mix of Anatolian Shepherd, Akbash, and Maremma. 3 good sheepdog breeds. And a mutt. And a cutie pie. That's how we got the name Sam, for Anatolian Shepherd, Akbash, and Maremma. And Peachy, because Corey has to name every animal after a fruit or vegetable. Sam Peachy Keen. Hey, Sam. Look at this sweetie baby. Say hi, Sam. Sam Peachy Keen. Can you say hi?